Welcome back. Today we are unwrapping the latest financial performance of a household name in India, Britannia Industries Limited.
That's right. Britannia, a company synonymous with biscuits for generations. Think Good Day, Marie Gold, Milk Bikies, but they're also significantly into other bakery products like cakes and rusk, and dairy products too. They've got a massive footprint across the country.
Indeed. So Britannia has released its audited financial results for the fourth quarter and the full financial year ended March 31, 2025. The Board of Directors approved these results on May 8, 2025. We'll be looking at both the consolidated and standalone figures today. Let's start with the consolidated numbers. How did Britannia perform in terms of revenue for the fourth quarter?
All right, for the fourth quarter of financial year 2025, on a consolidated basis, Britannia's revenue from operations stood at 4,432.19 crore rupees. Comparing this to the same quarter last year, which was 4,069.36 crore rupees, that's a growth of about 8.9% year over year.
An 8.9% growth year over year for Q4. And what about sequentially, compared to the third quarter of financial year 2025?
Good question. Quarter over quarter, there was a slight dip. Revenue from operations in Q3 of financial year 2025 was 4,592.62 crore rupees, so Q4 revenue is down about 3.5% sequentially.
Okay, a YoY increase but a QoQ dip in Q4 revenue. How did this translate for the full financial year 2025?
For the full financial year 2025, consolidated revenue from operations came in at 17,942.67 crore rupees. This is up from 16,769.27 crore rupees in financial year 2024, marking a growth of about 6.99%. The press release highlighted a 9% sales growth for the quarter and 6% for the year, likely referring to sale of goods.
Understood. Now let's talk about profitability. How does the EBITDA, or a proxy for it, look for the consolidated business in Q4?
We don't have a direct EBITDA figure, but using profit before tax plus depreciation and finance costs as a proxy, the consolidated EBITDA for Q4 financial year 2025 is approximately 863.54 crore rupees. This is up from about 840.99 crore rupees in Q4 of financial year 2024, a year-over-year increase of around 2.68%.
And the quarter-over-quarter performance for this EBITDA proxy?
Sequentially, Q4 EBITDA proxy is lower than Q3's 905.33 crore rupees, showing a decrease of about 4.61%.
So, a similar trend to revenue, YoY growth, but a QoQ dip for EBITDA proxy in Q4. What about the full year EBITDA proxy?
For the full financial year 2025, the consolidated EBITDA proxy stands at roughly 3,378.71 crore rupees, which is very slightly up from 3,377.93 crore rupees in financial year 2024. So almost flat on a full year basis for EBITDA.
Let's move to profit before tax or PBT on a consolidated basis for Q4.
Consolidated profit before tax for Q4 financial year 2025, after exceptional items, was 751.93 crore rupees. This is up from 734.62 crore rupees in Q4 of financial year 2024, a year-over-year growth of about 2.36%.
And sequentially, how does PBT look for Q4?
Quarter-over-quarter, PBT for Q4 is down from 778.39 crore rupees in Q3 of financial year 2025, a decrease of about 3.4%.
Again, that YoY growth and QoQ dip pattern. And for the full year, consolidated PBT?
For the full financial year 2025, consolidated profit before tax, after exceptional items, was 2,926.57 crore rupees. This is up slightly from 2,913.47 crore rupees in financial year 2024, a growth of about 0.45%.
Now for the bottom line, consolidated profit after tax, or PAT, for Q4.
Consolidated PAT for Q4 financial year 2025 came in at 559.13 crore rupees. This is a growth of about 4.19% from the 536.61 crore rupees reported in Q4 of financial year 2024. The press release highlighted a 4% net profit growth for the quarter.
How does Q4 PAT compare against Q3?
Sequentially, PAT for Q4 is down from 582.30 crore rupees in Q3 of financial year 2025. That's a dip of around 4% quarter-over-quarter.
And the full year consolidated PAT?
For the full financial year 2025, consolidated PAT was 2,177.86 crore rupees, up from 2,134.22 crore rupees in financial year 2024. This is a growth of about 2.05%, which also aligns with the press release.
Let's look at earnings per share, or EPS, for consolidated Q4.
The consolidated basic EPS for Q4 financial year 2025 was 23.25 rupees. This is up from 22.35 rupees in Q4 of financial year 2024.
And the quarter-over-quarter EPS for Q4?
Sequentially, the EPS for Q4 is down from 24.15 rupees in Q3 of financial year 2025.
And for the full year consolidated EPS?
For the full financial year 2025, consolidated basic EPS was 90.45 rupees, up from 88.84 rupees in financial year 2024.
Any significant movements in other income on the consolidated side?
Yes, for Q4 financial year 2025, consolidated other income was 63.02 crore rupees, up from 57.34 crore rupees in Q4 of financial year 2024. Sequentially, it was fairly stable compared to 62.46 crore rupees in Q3. For the full year, other income stood at 227.09 crore rupees, up from 214.18 crore rupees in the previous year.
Interesting. So the quarterly performance often shows YoY growth, but a sequential dip from Q3, while the annual figures show modest growth. Now, let's switch to the standalone financials. How did Britannia do on revenue for Q4 on a standalone basis?
On a standalone basis, revenue from operations for Q4 financial year 2025 was 4,282.51 crore rupees. This is up about 9.13% from 3,924.24 crore rupees in Q4 of financial year 2024.
And the sequential standalone revenue for Q4?
Quarter-over-quarter, standalone revenue for Q4 was down from 4,418.13 crore rupees in Q3, a dip of about 3.07%.
And the full year standalone revenue?
For the full financial year 2025, standalone revenue from operations was 17,295.92 crore rupees, up 6.86% from 16,186.08 crore rupees in financial year 2024.
Let's look at the standalone profit before tax for Q4.
Standalone PBT for Q4 financial year 2025, after exceptional items, was 746.35 crore rupees. This is up from 727.01 crore rupees in Q4 of financial year 2024, a growth of about 2.66%.
And sequentially for standalone PBT in Q4?
Quarter-over-quarter, standalone PBT for Q4 was slightly down from 750.92 crore rupees in Q3.
And for the full year, standalone PBT?
For the full financial year 2025, standalone PBT after exceptional items was 2,867.77 crore rupees, up from 2,855.44 crore rupees in financial year 2024, a modest increase.
How about the standalone profit after tax for Q4?
Standalone PAT for Q4 financial year 2025 was 557.10 crore rupees, up from 530.15 crore rupees in Q4 of financial year 2024. That's a growth of about 5.08% year-over-year.
And the quarter-over-quarter standalone PAT?
Sequentially, Q4 PAT was almost flat compared to 557.13 crore rupees in Q3. Very stable there.
What about the full year standalone PAT?
For the full financial year 2025, standalone PAT was 2,130.72 crore rupees, up from 2,082.05 crore rupees in financial year 2024, a growth of about 2.34%.
And the standalone EPS for Q4 and the full year?
Standalone basic EPS for Q4 financial year 2025 was 23.13 rupees, up from 22.01 rupees in Q4 financial year 2024. Sequentially, it was flat with Q3's 23.13 rupees. For the full financial year 2025, standalone EPS was 88.46 rupees, up from 86.44 rupees in the previous year.
What about other income on the standalone side? Anything noteworthy?
For Q4 financial year 2025, standalone other income was 71.58 crore rupees. This is higher than the 55.16 crore rupees in Q4 of the previous year and also up from 59.83 crore rupees in Q3. For the full year, it was 250.68 crore rupees. A key point here is that the notes mention this includes a dividend from subsidiaries of 12.51 crore rupees for the quarter and 34.67 crore rupees for the full year.
Thanks for that detailed breakdown. Let's talk about profitability margins. What are we seeing for the consolidated and standalone businesses?
For the consolidated business in Q4 financial year 2025, the net profit margin was about 12.61%. For the full year, it was around 12.13%. On the standalone side, the Q4 net profit margin was slightly better at 13.01%, and for the full year, it stood at 12.32%. So standalone margins are marginally higher than consolidated, which is often the case if subsidiaries have slightly lower profitability or consolidation adjustments.
Were there any significant exceptional items reported in the year?
Yes, for the financial year ended March 31st, 2025, there was an exceptional expense item. This amounted to 24.79 crore rupees for both consolidated and standalone figures. It relates to costs incurred for a voluntary retirement scheme for its own workers and also costs towards contract laborers at one of its factories. For comparison, in financial year 2024, the exceptional item was smaller at 2.90 crore rupees, also for a VRS.
Okay, let's shift to the balance sheet. Any key insights from the consolidated balance sheet as of March 2025 compared to March 2024?
On the consolidated front, total equity increased to 4,381.32 crore rupees from 3,966.02 crore rupees. Total assets stood at 8,838.55 crore rupees. Notably, total debt, which includes both non-current and current borrowings, has seen a significant reduction. It came down to about 1,224.77 crore rupees as of March 2025 from around 2,041.21 crore rupees a year ago. That's a healthy deleveraging.
That's a substantial debt reduction. How does the standalone balance sheet compare?
The standalone balance sheet also shows a similar trend of strengthening. Total equity increased to 3,886.55 crore rupees. Total debt on the standalone books also reduced significantly to about 1,216.55 crore rupees from around 2,037.14 crore rupees. So a consistent focus on reducing debt across the board.
What about the cash flow situation for the consolidated entity for financial year 2025?
For the full financial year 2025, net cash generated from operating activities was 2,480.65 crore rupees, which is slightly lower than the 2,572.98 crore rupees in the previous year. Net cash from investing activities was 84.36 crore rupees, a significant decrease from the 484.15 crore rupees generated in financial year 2024, mainly due to higher purchases of non-current investments. Net cash used in financing activities was 2,761.86 crore rupees. This included a dividend payout of 1,767.54 crore rupees and a repayment of bonus debentures amounting to 698.52 crore rupees. Overall, cash and cash equivalents at the end of the year, net of bank overdraft, stood at 125.24 crore rupees, down from 319.45 crore rupees at the start of the year. The company also noted that bank overdraft is netted off with cash and cash equivalents as per Ind AS 7.
And the dividend you mentioned? The press release highlighted a recommendation.
Yes, the board has recommended a final dividend of 75 rupees per equity share on a face value of 1 rupee each for the financial year ended March 31st, 2025. This is of course subject to shareholder approval at the annual general meeting.
Moving on to segment performance. Does Britannia report different business segments?
According to the notes in both the consolidated and standalone results, the company identifies foods as its single primary operating segment. The chief operating decision maker reviews the business performance at an overall level as one segment. So no detailed breakdown into sub-segments like biscuits, dairy or bakery in these financial statements.
Understood. So, summarizing the performance and looking at the management's commentary, what's the overall picture?
The management, specifically Mr. Varun Berry, the Vice Chairman and Managing Director, highlighted a high single-digit value growth of 9% in the last quarter amidst a challenging environment. He pointed to rising commodity prices, changing channel dynamics, and subdued demand across FMCG categories. To navigate this, Britannia focused on strategic pricing actions, agility in emerging channels, and robust cost efficiency initiatives, which delivered savings of approximately 3% of revenue. They've also expanded their direct distribution to about 29 lakh outlets and are strengthening their rural presence. New launches like the e-com first Pure Magic Choco Frames and Winkin Cow Grow were mentioned, alongside continued investment in legacy brands like Marie Gold and Good Day.
That provides good context. Are there any other significant notes or events from the report we should be aware of?
We've covered the dividend. The 106th annual general meeting is scheduled for Monday, August 11, 2025, and the record date for the dividend is Monday, August 4, 2025. The exceptional item related to the VRS is also a keynote. And as mentioned, on the standalone side, other income includes a notable dividend from its subsidiaries. It's also important to remember that the figures for the fourth quarter are balancing figures between the audited full-year results and the published unaudited 9-month figures.
Now, a crucial part, the auditor's report. What did Walker Chandiok and Company LLP have to say about the consolidated and standalone financials?
For both the consolidated and standalone financial results for the year ended March 31, 2025, the auditors, Walker Chandiok and Company LLP, have issued an unmodified opinion. This means they believe the financial statements give a true and fair view in all material respects.
That's positive. Any qualifications or emphasis of matter in the consolidated report?
In the Consolidated Auditor's Report, under Other Matters, they state they did not audit the financial statements of 12 subsidiaries, whose financials reflect total assets of 928.62 crore rupees and total revenues of 948.17 crore rupees. Their opinion on the consolidated results, insofar as it relates to these subsidiaries, is based solely on the reports of other auditors. These subsidiaries are located outside India, and the financials were converted to Ind AS by management, which Walker Chandiok audited. They also noted that the group's share of net profit after tax from 3 associate companies was nil, based on unaudited financial information provided by management, which they deemed not material to the group. Finally, they reiterated that the Q4 figures are balancing figures.
And for the standalone auditor's report?
The standalone auditor's report is straightforward with an unmodified opinion. The main other matter note there is simply that the Q4 figures are balancing figures. So overall clean audit reports for both sets of financials.
Good to know. So looking ahead, what's the outlook for Britannia based on this report and management commentary? Any key risks?
The management has stated they will continue to closely monitor commodity prices and evaluate their impact. Their focus remains on driving healthy, profitable growth and strengthening market leadership. They also reaffirmed their commitment to their ESG framework. The key risks, as highlighted by the management themselves, are the volatile commodity prices and the overall consumption scenario in the FMCG sector. The company's ability to manage costs and drive demand through innovation and distribution will be crucial. And of course, a standard disclaimer: we advise all investors to check with certified experts before making any investment decisions. This discussion is for informational purposes only.
To wrap things up, what are the main takeaways from Britannia's financial year 2025 performance?
Britannia has shown resilience in a challenging year, reporting modest growth in revenue and profits for the full year, with a stronger Q4 performance year-over-year, though there was a sequential dip from Q3. The company has managed to improve profitability through cost efficiencies and strategic pricing. A significant highlight is the substantial reduction in debt on both consolidated and standalone balance sheets. The dividend recommendation is also a positive for shareholders. The auditor's reports are clean, which adds a layer of confidence. The key will be navigating the ongoing FMCG headwinds, especially commodity inflation and consumer demand.
Excellent summary. It seems Britannia is navigating a tricky market with a steady hand. Thanks for breaking down these numbers for us.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Join us next time for more insights into the financial world. If you found this helpful, do like, share and subscribe to our channel.